All right, everyone, buckle up, because we are diving into something a little different for this deep dive. Fiction. We've got some excerpts from this thriller that everyone's been buzzing about, and it's juicy, like getting a sneak peek backstage before the curtain even opens,
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. And it's interesting because domestic suspense, it's really having a moment right now.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's like it taps into this fear we all have that the ordinary can turn terrifying just like that? Like danger's hiding right next door, just totally hidden in plain sight.
Totally. And these excerpts we've got, they nail that vibe.
Yeah.
So we've got Millie, she's our narrator, and she is laser focused on building the picture-perfect suburban life.
Right.
Obsessed with her house, calls it cozy,
Mm-hmm.
which, from what I'm reading, takes some serious imagination.
Yeah, that really struck me too. And then the way she just casually mentions Enzo, her husband, and how he might have a, shall we say, colorful past.
Yeah, a past.
A murderous past, definitely piqued my interest, let's put it that way.
Right. It's like, oh, he might have killed some people, but anyway, past the salt. Like, so casual. But that's the unreliable narrator thing, isn't it?
Exactly.
Makes you wonder, like, are we supposed to love her? Or be a little creeped out?
You've hit the nail on the head. That's what the author's doing so well, I think. We get pulled in by Millie and all her quirks, but there's this underlying tension, right? Like, she's so desperate for this normal life, but seems strangely unconcerned about, a potentially very dark past.
Right.
Makes you think, what else is she hiding?
Exactly. And speaking of things that are not quite right, can we talk about the neighbors? Because that's where things get really interesting, I think.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Janice, who, let's just say, seems very, very attached to her son. Like, leash attached, if you know what I mean.
Oh, boy.
Talk about a giant red flag right off the bat.
Well, it's classic thriller stuff, though, isn't it? That off neighbor immediately makes you wonder, harmless weirdo or something much more sinister?
Oh, yeah. And the contrast with the Lowells is interesting. They seem perfect.
Right.
And Millie is just weirdly obsessed with becoming besties with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a recipe for disaster.
It is, because it highlights, I think, just how much Millie wants to fit in, right? Which could actually blind her to, well, the danger. That's right there.
Oh, totally.
The author really sets up this feeling of unease.
Oh, for sure. And speaking of unease, can we please talk about Enzo for a minute?
Oh, yes, please.
Because, hello, handsome, charming,
Yeah.
but like shrouded in mystery, much. Talk about your classic thriller husband.
Oh, 100%. That archetype, the ambiguously moral husband.
Yeah.
Always so good. And the author does a really good job, I think, of planting these little seeds of doubt. Money troubles, Enzo being a little too protective, bordering on controlling those late-night disappearances. Do we trust him? Or is he too good to be true?
Especially after that whole thing with the plumber, you're like, whoa, talk about overreacting. Makes you wonder what he's really hiding. I mean, seriously. It's like, chill out, dude. He was just a plumber. Definitely something fishy going on there. But before we, go full conspiracy theory about Enzo, we got to talk about the big turning point in these excerpts. The missing neighbor.
Oh, absolutely. The disappearance of Jonathan Lowell, that's where the author really, shifts gears. We go from Millie's everyday worries to this, bone-chilling mystery. And the way the author uses those sensory details,
Yeah.
The smell of blood, the silence of the Lowell house, it's just, ugh, it gets under your skin.
No, for sure. You're totally right there with Millie, feeling that dread. And just when you think, okay, it can't get any weirder, bam, we get that first big twist.
Oh, yeah.
Ada,
Right.
the quiet daughter. Suddenly, she's giving us this whole other perspective on everything. And Millie's version of events.
Yep.
Well, let's just say it seems a little less reliable.
Right. That twist, I did not see it coming. It makes you question everything you thought you knew about Millie and what she's all about. Suddenly, her whole perfect life thing takes on a much darker meaning, don't you think?
Oh, 100%. And as if that wasn't enough, we get hit with another curveball. Cecilia Winchester. Our lawyer friend makes an appearance, and whoa, things just got real.
Right. That's what makes the story so good. It keeps you guessing. The author, peels back the layer so skillfully, connecting the past to the present, but in this way that's both shocking and, completely believable.
It's true. It's like every page there's something new, some other layer. And that ending, cliffhanger much. We're left with so many questions, like, what is Millie hiding about her past? What's Enzo's deal? And poor Ada, what does this all mean for her?
See, this is what I love about these deep dives. We get this taste right, just enough to get us hooked, but without ruining all the good surprises.
Oh, you definitely got me hooked. I need to know what happens.
Yeah.
But I have to say, Even just from these excerpts, this book is clearly more than just a thriller. It makes you think about some bigger stuff, like how far would we go to protect the people we love? Our family.
Exactly. It makes you think about the choices we make, right?
Yeah.
The secrets we keep.
Yeah.
How far we'll go to pretend everything's normal when really everything's falling apart.
You know, it's funny. That question, how far would we go?
Yeah.
That's what stuck with me.
Yeah.
Would I be like Millie, telling myself it's all cozy and perfect, even when things are, like, really messed up?
It's tough, right? That line between protecting your family and straight up lying, it gets blurry. And this book, it does such a good job of making you wonder about Millie. Is she stuck because of what other people have done? Or is she, part of the problem?
Yeah. It's hard to tell. And poor Ada, it's like, once you see everything from her perspective, it changes things. She goes from this background character to, like, a major player.
Absolutely.
How much is she picked up on just by living in that house? Is she, like, trying to protect her family, too, even if she has to do some messed up things?
It's like nature versus nurture, but with this whole suburban thriller vibe on top of it. And what's so freaky is that there's no easy answer. We just see Ada having to deal with a world where the adults are totally messed up. And she's got to figure it out for herself.
It's heartbreaking, but also terrifying, right?
Honestly, I feel like this whole deep dive has given me more questions than answers.
That's the sign of a great thriller. It sticks with you, even after you've put the book down, makes you think, keeps those wheels turning. What would I do? For sure. It's going straight on my to-read list. So for everyone listening who's now dying to know how it all ends, anything they should be watching out for when they pick up the book?
Don't skim those details. Little things, they matter. This author, total pro at foreshadowing. You think it's nothing, then bam, it all comes back later. Oh, and don't get too comfy thinking you figured it all out.
Oh, no.
Just when you think you have it, boom, another twist.
It sounds like it. This deep dive has been a wild one. We went from house-obsessed moms to some seriously dark secrets, and I'm questioning everything I thought I knew about truth and family. But if you like stories that make you double-check your locks at night, this one's for you.
And remember, sometimes most normal-looking people have the craziest secrets.
So true. Until next time, everyone, happy reading, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.